In this video, we're going to learn about second derivatives and how we can use them to understand when a function is concave, when it's convex, and when we have a point of inflection. Okay, if we consider a curve like this, which is, maybe a cubic or maybe something more complicated, we can think about a number of different sections of the curve. For example, we can clearly see that during this part of the curve, it is increasing, and then it's stationary, and then it's decreasing, and then it's stationary, and then it's increasing. But by increasing and decreasing, we mean the y value is going up or down. What if instead we focused on how steep it was? Is it getting steeper or is it getting less steep? Well, although we're going up here, it's in fact getting less steep. Less steep, less steep, less steep, and it continues getting less steep. Well, it sort of becomes downhill now, but more and more downhill, until about this point here, and then it starts becoming, well, less downhill, so sort of steeper, 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 steeper. And that's how the gradient is changing, not the y value. We can think, for example, about how the gradient might be 5 here, and then goes down to 4, down to 3, down to 2, down to 1, down to 0, okay, the gradient 0 here, and then down to -1, down to -2, down to, maybe it's -2 there. But then from this point, it starts going the other way. Maybe it's -2, then -1, it's going up, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, and increasing. So in the region where the gradient is decreasing, that's this region here, we know that since the gradient is decreasing, the second derivative, which describes how the gradient is changing, must be negative. In this region here where the gradient is increasing, the second derivative, which describes how the gradient changes, must be positive. And this point here is where we change from being negative to positive, and so at that point that must be where the second derivative is 0. So we've got some names for these regions. The names for these regions are concave, so it is concave when the second derivative is 0. Think about it, the silly example, the cave going over your head, right? We're inside of a cave, concave. In this region, where the second derivative is positive, so that's where the gradient is increasing, that is called the convex part of the curve. And then this region here, well, not region, this point, this is a point of inflection. So points of inflection are defined to be points where a curve changes from being concave to convex or convex to concave. Okay, so you will always find that the second derivative is 0 at these points of inflection, but just because the second derivative is 0, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a point of inflection, because it might have been concave before and afterwards, or convex before and afterwards. But if it changes from concave to convex or convex to concave, then it's a point of inflection. So a standard question might ask you to find the region of the graph that's concave, or the region of the graph that's convex. And to do that, we just need to set up an inequality like this. So let's take a look at an example. So y equals x cubed minus 6x squared plus 5x minus 2. So it's a cubic. Can we find the set of x values when it's concave? Can we find when it's convex? And can we find any point of inflection? So let's first try to find the concave part of the graph. So the concave part of the graph was where the second derivative is negative. It's where the gradient is decreasing. So I'll find the first derivative. So dy by dx is 3x squared minus 12x plus 5. And the second derivative is 6x minus 12. And it's concave when this is negative. So that means 6x is less than 12 and x is less than 2. So when x is less than 2, the graph is concave. When is it convex? It's convex when the second derivative, 6x minus 12, is greater than 0. So it's convex when 6x is greater than 2, and that means, sorry, it's greater than 12, and when x is greater than 2. And the point of inflection is when it changes from one to the other. And so that is when the second derivative, 6x minus 12, equals 0, and that's when x is 2. And in fact, we could even sub 2 into the equation to find the full coordinate. So I just get 2 cubed minus 6 times 2 squared plus 5 times 2 minus 2, and I get y is minus 8. So the full coordinates is 2 minus 8 for the point of inflection. Okay, let's have a look at this one here. Can we find the coordinates of the point of inflection of y equals 4x squared ln x? Okay, so the point of inflection is when the second derivative is 0, and specifically it's when it changes from being concave to convex or convex to concave. So we've got to investigate the second derivative here. So dy by dx, okay, I'm going to have to use the product rule here. So I will differentiate the x squared but not the ln x. So I get 8x ln x, and then I will differentiate the ln x but not the 4x squared. So that's 4x squared, and derivative of ln x is 1 over x. Neatened up, I get 8x ln x. And now what have we got here? Well, 1 over x times x squared is just x, that's plus 4x. Now for the second derivative, d2y by dx squared. Okay, I'll do the same kind of idea here. So I'll differentiate the 8x but not the ln x. So I get 8 ln x, and then I'll differentiate the ln x but not the 8x, and that gives me 8x 1 over x. And then I'll differentiate 4x, and I get 4. So that is 8 ln x plus, well, 8x times 1 over x is just 8, plus 4 is plus 4. So the second derivative is 8 ln x plus 12. So if there's a point of inflection, it will be when this is 0. So let's see, that would be when 8 ln x plus 12 equals 0. So 8 ln x equals negative 12. Ln x, well, minus 12 over 8 is minus 3 over 2. And then x is just going to be e to the minus 3 over 2. Okay, so to check that that really is the x-coordinate of my point of inflection, I just need to check that the second derivative changes from positive to negative or negative to positive on either side, just to check that it really was changing from concave to convex or convex to concave. Here's how I like to do it. Okay, so I take my calculator and I'll just check that I've got the right answer. So I'll sub e to the minus 3 over 2 into my second derivative, which was here. So that was 8 ln x plus 12. So if I do 8 times ln, and here's my x value, so that is e to the minus, well, 3 over 2 is 1.5, so e to the minus 3 over 2 plus 12, and let's just see what I get. Okay, 0, good. Now, if I made x a tiny bit bigger, so that would be maybe setting x, instead of to e to the minus 1.5, I'll just add a teeny tiny bit to it like that. Well, when it makes x a tiny bit bigger, the second derivative is positive. And if I make x a tiny bit smaller by subtracting, it's negative. Okay, good. So I've checked that when x was smaller, the second derivative was negative, so it was concave. And then when x was a bit bigger, it was convex. So good, I have found my point of inflection. All I need to do now is sub that x value into the original function, 4x squared ln x, in order to get my y value, because it's asking for the coordinates. So the y value is going to be 4x squared, so that's 4 times my x value squared, multiplied by ln of my x value. Well, ln of e to the minus 3 over 2 is just minus 3 over 2, by definition. And this over here is 4e to the minus 3. So slightly messy, but what I've got is minus 3 over 2 times 4 is minus 6. It's minus 6e to the minus 3. So the coordinates of my point of inflection are e to the minus 3 over 2 and a y value of minus 6e to the minus 3. All right, let's have a look at one more. So I've got this function x e to the x, and for which values of x is it convex? So convex is when the second derivative is positive. It's when the gradient is increasing, it's getting steeper. So let's find my first derivative. Product rule. I will differentiate the x but not the e to the x, and I get e to the x. I'll differentiate the e to the x but not the x. I get x e to the x. Okay, second derivative. Derivative of e to the x is e to the x. Derivative of x e to the x, well, I've actually already done that, so I can just copy this. It's plus e to the x plus x e to the x, which is 2e to the x plus x e to the x. So I want to know, when is my second derivative positive? Okay, so to solve this, I can actually be quite sneaky here. If I factorize out an e to the x, I get 2 plus x here. Now normally you've got to be so careful when you're solving inequalities with two brackets, but e to the x is always positive, right? E to the x does not contribute in any way to whether this expression is positive or negative, because it's always positive, which means I can just forget about it. Like, why bother including something in an inequality that's always positive? It has no bearing on when this expression is positive. So all I need to do is think, when is 2 plus x positive? Well, that's much easier. It's simply when x is greater than minus 2. Okay, so there we have it. That is concave and convex functions and points of inflection. Hope that's been useful. I'll see you in the next video.